Recently, we discussed how in Texas there's an attempt to remove historical facts and important people such as Albert Einstein from textbooks and replace them with more politically caponized names and stories such as the man who created cookies. Now, of course, the man who created cookies is a man of color, and therefore his color trumps Einstein's genius, according to the left-wing Marxists. Joining us now is the Chief Counsel for the American Center for Law and Justice, Jay Sekulow, to talk about the story. Jay Sekulow, welcome to the Savage Nation.
Michael, thanks for having me.
What are they trying to do?
The Texas State Board of Education is the most influential state board of education in the country. They're one of the largest purchasers of textbooks, and it impacts all 50 states because these publishers will base their textbook curriculum and what's in the textbooks, the actual text, on the decisions coming out of Texas in large part. So what you've got is a huge cultural battle brewing in Texas, and it impacts everything from removing references to Independence Day, saying that Daniel Boone shouldn't be discussed. Let's not discuss Neil Armstrong, Christopher Columbus, inappropriate to discuss. Remove Christmas, but put other holidays that, frankly, most people have never even heard about before. And the idea there, of course, being that they want to change and rewrite American legal history and America's constitutional history. This is a complete rewrite of America's history.
Well, you and I both know what the driving force is behind this movement. It's Marxist-Leninism.
It's an agenda under the guise of political correctness, a liberal elite agenda, where basically they're trying to remove any reference to America's exceptionalism. Why are we unique as a country? Is it because we believe we're endowed by our Creator with various rights that it's the role of government to protect, but they don't bestow them? These are inalienable as to who we are. It's a foundational principle, and it's not simply a religious dispute here. This isn't just about, should the phrase Christmas be in the textbook or not. It's really about America's history. What's the justification to reminding Americans about the importance of Neil Armstrong stepping on the moon? What's the importance of that? That's part of America's uniqueness. We did it first. Why do we want to remove, or why do they want to remove, Christopher Columbus? Too controversial. Then you've got, besides the incorrect statements in these proposed curriculum changes, how about this one? The Cold War was ended because of Mikhail Gorbachev. No mention of Ronald Reagan. This is the kind of rewriting of America's history that these groups have tried. Now, I will say this, they're also being very unsuccessful. The fact is that conservatives are dominating the debate right now, and that has made a big difference on what the final outcome will be.
Do you think the conservatives are going to win this battle?
No, Michael, in large part, is because of things that you've been saying and others. I mean, you've been very vocal about these issues and a host of others. You're pointing out the acerb nature of some of these statements that have come down from this Board of Education or other boards of education here in Texas, again, because of the conservative control on this. I'm very confident we'll be successful. But it does point to the absurd nature of what is going on some of these school curriculums. And I tell parents that at the end of the day, it's the local school boards that matter as well, and you've got to be engaged and know what's going on in your kid's classroom. And part of that process is also a really accurate understanding of America's heritage, where we came from, what makes us unique, I'm not afraid to say it, our exceptionalism as Americans. And what you've got is the liberal elite trying to numb that down as if it does not exist. That's the real agenda here. It's not, and by the way, not hidden. They're very upfront about it.
The libs are pushing for the removal of Einstein and Edison to put in a cookie manufacturer and to blame conservatives and Christians for wanting to keep the facts in the textbooks?
Well, that's right. I mean, the fact is, if you look at the aspects like, why are we not going to mention Christmas? Well, that's because it's the dominant religion. So we need to discuss other religions that may or may not even be known by the American people. There's nothing wrong with having comparative religion courses. I think that's fine. But to then remove such a significant event from a holiday discussion from the textbooks in America is absurd. It makes no sense. But it makes perfect sense if you have this desire to secularize the entire culture and to remove the fact that we are unique as America. We are unique in the way our government is set up. And that distinguishing feature, the fact that our rights are inalienable and God-given, is what makes us unique. You remove that history, you remove the foundation of our culture.
You don't seem to mind that cases such as this put your organization into the media spotlight.
At the American Center for Law and Justice, one of the things you have to do, because we've got lawyers all over the United States and around the globe, you have to engage these issues on a national but also on a regional and local level. So we've been obviously discussing this extensively. We've been bringing this to the attention of media. And frankly, it is the media's impact, and I will say the conservative media impact, and yours, one of the ones leading the way here, that's making such a difference. When you get the message out and the American people hear what's going on in Texas, and you have the whole world focusing in on it, that becomes a very positive agent for change, and we're seeing that develop literally right now as we speak.
Well, where does it go from here?
I think Texas, I think we're going to see a victory in Texas. If we keep the pressure up the next 24 hours, frankly, there'll be next big challenge on this will be in May. I think we're going to clear this challenge. The final vote then comes in May. If we keep the pressure up, we're going to see a victory, and I think we will have beaten back a real attempt to change the nation's view and understanding of America's uniqueness. And I'm optimistic that we're going to get that. We're going to see a victory. We're going to have to stay vigilant.
How can we get involved in this fight?
We've got if you call aclj.org, go to our website. There's information there. There's postings. Right now, contacting the Texas Board of Education doesn't hurt, but frankly, it's going in the right direction. I think the next real challenge on this is going to be, again, in May. That'll be the next big one. But if people go to aclj.org, there's information available.
Jay Sekulow, thanks for being on the Savage Nation.